Good Wednesday evening and welcome to Feedback. I'm Mark Desidakis. Joining us on tonight's show, the Clarion County Commissioners. It's all tonight on Feedback. So we're just talking about something else, don't mind it. Welcome to Feedback. I'm Mark Desidakis. They're my favorite guests to have on the show all the time, the Clarion County Commissioners. We're always talking during the breaks and before the show, and we're just talking about now, this week I'm going out with Stat Medevac. You'll see that show in a couple of weeks, and it might rain on Thursday when I go up, I hope not. Well, anyway, we'll be talking more with them about some more serious stuff than flying a helicopter around Clarion, coming up later in the show here. But first, as is per the norm here in the beginning of the show, I'd like to give you a little bit of news, talk about what's going on in the world. And, e-commerce is everywhere. Everything is everywhere. Technology is all we deal with. We've talked about that a lot this year on the show. Well, now the craze to digitize has moved on to our homes with a company from Denver's assistance. CNN's Gina London has a look at the latest smart house. Take a look.
We've all done it, wondered if we left the burner on after we've left the house. Now you can fix the problem from anywhere.
Let's just say that I was cooking this morning and left this stove on. If I came to this page, I'd see that yes, it is on right here. So I can scroll down and actually deactivate it.
It's one part of a smart house designed by Denver's World Wireless Communications.
Every appliance can be outfitted with a tiny X node, which acts as a web server, allowing your house to talk to you through your desktop, your laptop, or even your handheld.
The X nodes cost between $15 and $250 each. In addition to fixing problems, you could possibly prevent them as well. Using your computer to track energy use could help you conserve.
Say you're in California today and you're talking brownouts, you can go use our technology to know exactly how much energy you're consuming. You can set up alarms for yourself to say that, hey guys, let's turn the lights off.
A number of other corporations are also developing smart appliances like GE, Sunbeam, and Whirlpool. As companies work to make them smarter and more affordable, we may soon be able to leave our houses without leaving home behind. In Denver, I'm Gina London reporting.
Closed if I want to go back and reopen it.
You'd be kidding me. This just seems crazy that now I can leave the house and check to see if everything was turned off. I guess in theory it's a nice idea, but I have enough trouble sending an email to somebody else, and I'm of this tech generation. I mean, the people here can attest to that, or people down here. I have no idea how to do all this stuff with the computers. I'm lucky I can get to send the email and print the pages out. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if the world is totally ready for this. It's frightening what all is out there and what all is available for us. I've talked about this a few times, I know. Just be wary. Everything that you do now is going to be run by some type of technology. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to be talking to some folks. I don't know how you guys feel about technology, but we'll be talking with them, probably not about technology things, but certainly issues related to Clarion County. Stay with us. The Clarion County Commissioners are coming up. Through a grant from Clarion Hospital. Clarion Hospital is located off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Clarion Hospital offers outpatient services, transitional care, as well as an emergency room open around the clock every day of the year. More than 400 employees and 80 physicians work to serve the community. Call the Clarion Hospital at 226-9500. Clarion Hospital, providing health care to Clarion County and surrounding communities since 1954.
Boyfriend wants to know if that girl will go out with him. Pass it down.
Hey, Grandma, ask the girl on the end if she wants to go out with this loner.
The young man wants to know if the girl over there is a donor.
Somebody wants to know if you're an organ and tissue donor.
Yes.
Hey, me too.
Are you a donor? Make sure your family knows your decision so there's no question later.
And I said, you know, it wouldn't a better name for a movie to come out now, and I think I'm going to make the movie or write the book. It would be a great book to have, and you can call to get her book. You can also find it online. Well, I have a feeling I'm going to be rather opinionated, people I know. So let's ask them about scheduling. Why is it that students have such a problem here with?
Tune into Feedback with Mark Despotakis every Tuesday and Wednesday night beginning at 7:30 p.m.
We're totally out of time. No time to talk to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant 226-8400.
Okay, and welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis on this Wednesday evening, talking local politics here tonight with the Clarion County Commissioners, County Politics. Joining us on today's show are my favorite guests, as I've dubbed them, David Seifert, Donna Hartle, John Shropshire. Thank you guys for joining us.
Quite welcome.
Something we've talked about a lot, economic development in the county, you know, in specific to our community. I read something in the paper the other day that you guys, as it says in the sub-headline here, are unhappy with the performance of the Economic Development Corporation, is it, yes, for Clarion County. I mean, are you unhappy, is that the right term? And if so, why?
Unhappy is a good term. The contract, we have a service contract with them, and we provide them with a pot of money, $66,000 this year. In turn, they are to provide some services for us. That contract was done several years ago, and they have a new board, and that is one thing that's on the table now, because they do have a new board, so the things that we had problems with are not necessarily directed at the people who are presently in there, but we're also fairly new commissioners too, so there are new parties on both sides, and we thought this was a good time to revisit the contract and see if we can't work out a deal that's a little more public and a little more accessible for us to find out what they're doing.
What exactly does the EDC do? What is their specific task that they are supposed to perform for you guys, since you're giving them $66,000 this year?
Well, the general point of it is that they're going to monitor the growth of economic development for Clarion County. It's a service. The county does not have an office that handles economic development, and so in a sense we have contracted out for them to provide the economic development for the county. And economic development can mean a lot of different things depending on who wants to define it, but essentially it's building businesses, to monitoring the employment, unemployment factors, but enticing people to come in here, particularly people who will pay salaries that are family-sustaining salaries to grow the population and grow the economy of the county.
So what action is being taken at this point with the EDC? I mean, you're going in and saying there need to be some changes, or?
We had a meeting last week with the Board of Commissioners as well as the Economic Development Corporation. Both attorneys, both our county solicitor and their solicitor was present. And what we did was we hammered out sort of an agreement, understanding, I guess is what we want to call it, to say exactly what we expect from that board and pretty much what they expect from us to work as a joint effort in economic development. We have a preliminary draft. We are fine-tuning it. Both sides are fine-tuning it, and hopefully within the next couple weeks we'll be able to have a document before us that spells out exactly where we as Clarion County Commissioners want to see economic development, and economic development coincide with the commissioners in a joint effort.
Okay. Let's move on from that. I was at the commissioners meeting a week or two ago. One of the things that you guys approved was the advertisement of an ordinance for some safety measures at the courthouse and I guess other county buildings. And even before this came out, there was a no-gun policy in the courthouse. I had heard some people complaining about it even back when that came out. How do you respond to these people who are saying that you're stepping over the bounds here?
I guess all you have to do is follow the news media. Within about the last 6 months especially, it's been very tragic with some of the firearms that could have been stopped. For instance, going into school, how did they ever get into the school if there was a system to prevent it? You read about judges being attacked in the chambers. The courts are really vulnerable to that type of upset if you don't take put the measures in effect to control the people. Our policy is not necessarily to take everybody's firearm, that's far from it. But there's a time and a place, and we all endorse the right to carry and bear a firearm, but there is a time and place for it. We don't feel it's in the courts. You can't have them in the school, post offices, federal buildings, and it's just a situation where we found that through the state and federal government, we can't, as commissioners, enforce the law per se. So if we pass an ordinance pertaining to county buildings and security, then that's enforceable by the county, which is being the commissioners. So that's how the ordinance came about.
Something else new, two of you guys have them on now, the name tags. Why is this necessary in the courthouse, or is it on all county buildings as well?
It's in all county buildings. What we wanted to do is to give those people coming into the courthouse and to any of the other facilities the information that here's the person you're dealing with. That person has a name, that person has a department, and that individual can definitely tell if they are an employee of Clarion County. Sometimes in the past it says, well, I talked to this person in this department. Well, who was that person? Well, they didn't know. Now we find that this is so much a part of our everyday lives, as well as all of our employees, that people will come to us in the courthouse and say, you work here, could you tell me where I go for this type of service? So if anything, it gives us an identification that we are employees for the constituents, and they have that ability to know who they're dealing with and what department, and if they do need assistance, they know exactly that they can get that assistance.
Okay. Back to the security ordinance for the courthouse as well. Metal detectors is a possibility under this, correct?
We do have a walk-through arch metal detector that will be at the front of the courthouse, and we're very fortunate that U.S. Air donated us an X-ray machine for which would be your briefcases, purses, things of that nature. So we have both those systems there now. They're not presently in place, but they probably will be by the end of this year or before.
So everyone, including county employees, is going to have to go through this?
Going through the front door. Through it.
Everyone
That's
through
right.
the front door. Is this going to require any extra staffing?
Pros and cons. The sheriffs, if we go with the sheriff's department on this, they already have budgeted for deputies for part-time. So in that sense of the word, we're looking at perhaps using one of the part-time or two of the part-time deputies to staff that. But we're down the road a little bit on that one yet.
Right. All right, well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk just a little bit of, kind of fits in the role of public safety, a new jail warden for Clarion County. We're going to talk about that coming up. Stay with us. Feedback continues after this.
I think we had
by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Carpet Barn. The Carpet Barn is located at 470 South 5th Avenue in Clarion. The Carpet Barn is open Monday through Saturday for all your carpet needs. So call the Carpet Barn, 226-7332.
Wardrobe for some TV5 news anchors, provided by Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all, with many different styles. Fashion Bug also offers a wide selection of accessories. Fashion Bug is located in the Clarion Mall, just off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 5.
On the big highway of life, only one safe place for kids. The front seat's not the best to drop out. Don't want that big old bag to pop out. Put that booties in the back seat now. Have that the kitchen never be out. Here to remind you to put them behind you. Oh, look at here. To stay alive even when I drive.
And welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis. Joining us on tonight's show, my favorite feedback guests. I mean, if there's feedback guests out there watching, I like you guys too, but these are my favorites to have on always. So we want them to keep coming back. The Clarion County Commissioners, David Seifert, Donna Hartle, John Schrotzmeyer. Thank you guys for joining us. Mentioned it briefly before the break, kind of the big news everyone was asking questions about, and we all attended the last County Commissioners meeting for the reason. A new jail warden here in Clarion County. John Riley, what do you guys think of him so far? He's been in for a week now officially. I mean, I don't know if he's made any landmark changes, but you happy with your decision, I presume?
We're very happy with our decision. We looked long and hard and found a candidate that we thought was best for the position. He certainly hasn't disappointed us. We've had probably 3 times, I think, since he's been in to talk to him, and he's putting a different spin on things over to prison. And I think it's a real good move we made and looks very positive.
I think one of the really remarkable things is that this is, of course, this is a professional corrections officer. Has his college degree and a lot of experience in this area. And actually worked at some much larger places than what we have. So that coming here as a warden, he brings a lot of professional experience that we should be the benefactors from for a long time.
His credentials, we couldn't have asked for anybody that met and over-exceeded in the credential line. I think he's going to be a very, very good asset for Clarion County.
And talking with him after the meeting when he was officially hired, one thing that he said to me, because I've been in a situation like this before. Was that something you were looking for? Someone who's been in, who's coming into a jail where that doesn't always have the best rap. I mean, the county jail for a while didn't have the best rap. Did you look for that?
I would say that certainly wasn't one of the criteria, but sure is an asset. He knows where to go to get it straightened out, and that's good.
Yeah, I would agree with David. It wasn't something that we were seeking, because when you do a search, you don't know who's going to apply. Certainly our plight was well known. I think most of the deputy wardens and wardens in this region who could read the newspapers were well aware that we were experiencing some difficulties here. But sometimes a lot of people who are good candidates don't want to jump into something when they know that there are some problems. But we had a statewide search, and we had a number of people who applied, and I think we got the winner in that group, an exceptional candidate.
So what are you looking for out of him? Your goals and expectations? Maybe what do you expect to see the jail to look like in, let's say, 5 years with him in there?
I expect to see a lot more military form of command over there, with perhaps the lieutenants and a chain of command that are going to follow. There should be more programs for the inmates become available with his expertise. Certainly already he's mentioned several instances where we could get DOC training for our officers at absolutely no charge. It's been out there all the time and nobody's taken advantage of it. So those are a couple of things on my end that I have.
I think the professionalism to the point where he knows the rules, the regulations, standard operating procedures. He knows that frontwards and backwards. And I think, if anything, he'll bring more of a professional look to the office. And professional being not, a picture of what it should look like, but he has the capabilities and the knowledge to put everything together.
I think one of the things that we get criticized when we go to Hershey and Harrisburg for meetings, and you tell someone you're from Clarion County, I mean, obviously we're quite proud of where we're from, but a lot of the people from the urban areas seem to think we all have mud on our shoes and the Hicksville, that type of thing. I think that one of the things that bringing a guy like John Rowley here is that he has a tremendous professionalism. Donna just mentioned the professionalism. That is what I think you're going to see notice a difference over a period of time. And I'm not being critical of other people in that sense, but this is the first time we've had someone who was really trained to be a corrections officer, and the first time in our history that we've had someone to do that. So that the changes, I think, over a period of time will be obvious as you start seeing how these little nuances change, how the people dress, how they address each other, how they do different things, how they do work orders, how they do their daily chores will change. It will be a much more professional run business.
And if certainly those important things, if those things work well, then the whole system down the line will certainly get better.
Yeah.
Another system that may not be going so well across the country after election 2000 is voting reform. I was talking with you guys during the break here that I got a fax from the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania talking about possibly some election reform for the state. Can you guys speak to that at all? I mean, first of all, is it necessary? I think it is. Something needs to be done here.
I think we're all in agreement that something has to be done. It doesn't matter if you're from rural counties, urban counties. If you want to, what happened in Florida we just got more publicity because of the nature and timing situation, but those kinds of incidents happen all the time. They happened here, they happen many, many places. It's just that when you're talking about getting the most elaborate and the best equipment, the technology you were talking about earlier is there to do these things almost perfect, but they're not cheap. And that is the biggest problem, and that keeps people from purchasing things. They're expensive. And the committee that the governor has put together is designed to find a way that we can make a uniform voting system throughout the state. But that part of it will be easy because the equipment and technology is there to do it.
Right.
How you're going to fund it is going to be the more challenging part of their discussions.
So are you all worried that this is going to be out of county funds here, and this could be some elaborate system? I mean, is that something that you're going to voice in Harrisburg?
Well, the county is going to have to come up to the plate and chip in some money. But I also feel that since the state is taking a very sincere look at this, that there should be state funding coming. So in essence, each county then isn't stuck with the burden of assuming a huge liability on something like this. So I feel that it's not going to happen overnight, but definitely Clarion County is going to have to step up to the bat, and we're just going to have to pitch in and get on with better technology that will improve everybody's systems.
Well, we are out of time. It always goes so short, so fast, and the show seems so short when you guys are here. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you at the next commissioners meeting.
All righty. Okay.
We will be back on feedback right after this. As it happens, then tune into Clarion's very own TV5 News Live for complete coverage of the Clarion area and our world. TV5 News crews join with crews from the world's news leaders, CNN, to provide complete coverage of the day's events. With advanced satellite capabilities, TV5 News can bring you the latest news as it happens. So tune in every Tuesday and Wednesday night for Clarion's very own TV5 News Live.
Hi everybody, I'm Brandy. How would you like to give hope to millions of the world's children? UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, is saving lives in over 140 countries by providing kids with medicine, clean water, nutrition, and education. With your help, UNICEF can make a huge difference in our world. For more information, call 1-800-FOR-KIDS. Thank you.
I'm Mark Katsidakis. Thanks for joining us on tonight's show. Once again, we'd like to thank the county commissioners for joining us. Always wonderful to have them with us. Stay tuned. Coming up next here on TV5 News with Carrie LaPoo and Kelly Esna. That's straight ahead. Join us next week. We are only here on Tuesday next week, and then we are off on next Wednesday, and then the Wednesday after that we'll be back with you. But we'll fill you in on that next week. Join us right here at 7:30 next Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week.